Even casual observers have probably heard the president bragging about his legacy. President Joe Biden heads across the pond for a long-awaited trip to his ancestral homeland of Ireland, where diplomacy as well as family will be of great importance. Biden's visit will be his first visit to Ireland as president and the second from the United States by an Irish Catholic president. The commander-in-chief will visit Ireland. The president left Washington with his son Hunter Biden and sister Valerie Biden on Tuesday for Belfast, Northern Ireland, the first stop on a 4-day two-country tour. President Joe was named after his son Hunter Biden and sister Valerie Owens on April 11, 2023, in Andrews, MD accompanying him as he boards Air Force One for a trip to Ireland at Joint Base. Biden will here commemorate 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement, which ended 30 years of sectarian violence on Ireland known as the Troubles. As Biden departed on Tuesday, he said his top priority for trip was to ensure that the Irish agreements and Winter Agreement remain in force. Keeping the peace. President Biden cares deeply about Northern Ireland and has a long history of promoting peace and prosperity. As a U.S. Senator, Joe Biden was an advocate for how the U.S. can play a constructive role in promoting peace, White House spokesman John Kirby said on Monday. According to the White House, Biden's visit to Northern Ireland will also focus on whether the United States is ready to support Northern Ireland's broad economic potential in a way that benefits all communities. The economic focus Biden's visit is particularly noteworthy as Ireland, which is part European Union, and Northern Ireland, part United Kingdom, are still grappling with consequences Brexit after United Kingdom leaves EU. President Joe Biden gestures as he boards Air Force One at Andrews Air Force Base on April 11, 2023. Biden is visiting Ireland and neighboring Northern Ireland to mark the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement, discussing current issues with senior officials and honoring his Irish ancestors. Manuel Balce CenetaAP Earlier this year, a trade agreement called Windsor Framework was signed to avoid reinstatement of a rigid land border on the island and to address some of key trade concerns left over from Brexit. Some feared that the so-called hard border between Northern Ireland could undermine the 1998 peace deal and spark a rekindling of tensions in Northern between mostly Protestant unionists, mostly Catholic nationalists. Biden had previously praised Windsor Agreement as an important step towards maintaining and strengthening hard-won peace and the progress of BelfastGood Friday Agreement. After lowering the terrorist threat level to significant last year, Northern Ireland has recently upgraded it to severe, meaning an attack is highly likely based on an MI5 intelligence assessment. But on Monday, Kirby downplayed safety concerns when asked about Biden's travel. "We never talk about security requirements of protecting the president, but president is extremely comfortable making this trip and very excited to do it," Kirby said. An aerial view of the so-called Peace Wall on April 3, 2023, in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Charles Mcquillan, file after his time in UK, Biden will travel to the Republic of Ireland this week, where he will meet with Presidents Michael D. Higgins and Taoiseach Leo Varadkar and speak at a joint session of Irish legislature. 1 in 10 Americans today claims Irish ancestry, and Irish Americans are proudly represented in all aspects of American life. Ireland is an important economic partner of the United States, and the United States and Ireland are working closely together to make global economy more equitable, Kirby said in his preview of the trip. He also chose Ireland's contributions to Ukraine during the invasion of Russia. The Irish government has been strong supporters of Ukraine by providing non-lethal vital assistance, including medical supplies, body armor, and support for Ukraine's electricity grid and agriculture, he said. They supported EU sanctions against Russia, and the Irish people generously welcomed around 80,000 Ukrainians and offered asylum to those who had to leave their homes in search of safety. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden received launch as a welcome gift from Irish Prime Minister Enda Kenny at welcoming ceremony at the government buildings in Dublin on June 21, 2016. Paulo Nunes Dos SantosAFP, via file but perhaps larger focus of Biden's trip will be to trace his connections to Ireland, mainly on his maternal side, through two families, the Finnegans and Blewitts. Biden is expected to meet with relatives and visit sites important to Louth County Finnegans and Mayo County Blewitts, according to a White House official. On Wednesday afternoon in County Louth, Biden will visit Castle Carlingford. He will visit Our Lady of Knock and the Family History Research Unit of the North Mayo Heritage and Genealogy Centre in County Mayo on Friday. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, in a statement announcing the trip, said she also visited St. He is expected to make statements near Murdoch Cathedral that celebrate the deep, historical ties that bind our countries and peoples together. That cathedral has deep ties to Biden's family. Some relatives were baptized there, and his great-great-great-grandfather Edward Blewett sold the cathedral 27,000 bricks used in its construction, which eventually helped finance the family's journey to America. President Joe Biden speaks as he welcomes Leo Varadkar, Irish Taoiseach, for Shamrock presentation and reception in the East Room of the White House in Washington, March 17, 2023. Even the most casual observer of the president has probably heard him bragging about his Irish heritage. In almost all words, he will frequently quote members of his Irish family or some of favorite Irish poetry and literature, such as Seamus Heaney's The Cure at Troy. My colleagues in the United States Senate used to make fun of me for always quoting Irish poets on the floor. The world, Biden joked. In the past, he has referred to his Irish roots as part of his soul and how he was raised. The focus of his talk of political dignity for all Americans is also rooted in his legacy. It probably come back to an overused word in my household, as my grandfather used to say, maybe that's the Irish word for it. The word honor. Biden said in May about his policies focused on improving the middle class. During his time in Ireland, White House officials said, he will discuss how the fierce pride of being Irish and a value system that says everyone has right to be treated with dignity and respect is passed on to each generation. It will also discuss how the Irish-American story that has weathered tough times but moved towards a better tomorrow speaks to our shared past, present and future, he said.